I have a secret for you writers. The first novel that you write probably won't be the one that you get famous for. And I know that's a hard pill to swallow because we want that first thing to be the thing that makes us famous and popular. It's the thing that spoke to us first. It is the one that has been bouncing around in our heads and just won't let go of us. It is the story that a lot of us are most proud of, or that we spent the most time and effort on, or we love. We have special connections to them. But the reality is that your first novel probably isn't the one that's going to make you famous. And if it is, it means that you've either gotten some really big traditional contract and they put a ton of marketing money behind it and a lot of effort into cleaning it up and polishing it, making it really worthy of having that number one spot in your career. Or you, as an indie author, have spent a lot of time and money marketing this and you've invested a lot into it to make it very popular. For the most part, your first novel is not going to be the thing that makes your career take off. It's not going to be the thing that you're most known for. It is going to be one of your follow-up books. So it's important to know that while you love this book, while you're spending your time and effort into it, it is not the end-all be-all of your career. It is not going to make or break your success. You may do well with that book, and that book may be profitable for you, and that book may get you some popularity. But as you continue to write, your skills are going to develop. Your fan base is going to develop. You are going to be able to grow and change, write stronger, write better, write more connected things, and you're going to have an audience that is now coming in on things that are a little bit more connected to them. Your first novel can still do really well for you. You can get really popular from that, but chances are that first novel is not going to be the thing that skyrockets your success, nor is it going to be the thing that makes you a bunch of money. Now, here's what I've learned. My first novel is actually still my bestseller. It is still making the most money because it's the most unique concept, but it's not my best written. I have since become a better writer. I've done really cool things. There's stuff I'm really proud of, things that are better for this industry, better for my readers, but my first book is still my money maker. But it was not my moneymaker at the beginning. I did have to have many books out before it became really popular, before it became very good at monetizing in the space. And so my first novel, while it is my most popular, it took me much more of my career to get to the point where that was my really popular thing. And again, I just happen to have a really good hook. My very first novel is a Goldilocks assassin story. So of course that one's going to be one of the ones that gets people's attention. And there's some really good tropes in there. So it does really well, but it's not my best written. It wasn't even the first book that I wrote. It was actually the third book that I wrote, but the first book that I published. And to this day, it is really important to my career. But I've gone on to do other things. And so your first novel is probably not going to make you a ton of money. It's probably not going to make you super famous. And even if it does end up being the most popular of your books, it's not going to be the thing that launches your career. So it's incredibly important to do your best on your first novel, but not rely solely on that for the sake of your career. You have to keep writing. You have to keep creating things. You have to keep moving forward. You have to keep having options. And you have to understand, for most people, for like 80-90% of writers, your first book is just going to go on the list of things that you've written. It's not going to be the thing that gets you attached inside of this industry. It's not going to be your most popular. It's not going to be your moneymaker. It's not going to be anything but special to you. And that's okay. That's the way the industry works. That's the way our careers work. And you just need to keep moving forward. I know we get sentimentally attached to that first book and we really want that to be the one, our rising star, the thing that takes us to the very top. And for most of us, it won't. So always be looking forward to your next project. Love and respect and cherish and protect and honor and put that first book out there. You can really just talk it up and do all the fun things, but don't be disappointed when it's not the one. When the industry says, it's fine, it's great, but maybe that one, I like that one. I like that one better. The industry and you will probably have different feelings. So just keep moving forward, just keep working and hold that special to you, but leave room for other things to help you to grow and to succeed in this career. Your first one is not the end all be all. And it's certainly where you should not be hanging your stars, hanging your hats, hanging your whatever on that first book. Keep moving forward and remember, writing is a career. Writing is something you have to keep working on. It is an industry and it is your job to move forward. So think of it this way. If you worked a 9-to-5 and you worked in an office and your boss assigned you a project, your very first project when you started this new job, and you did really well. You poured your heart and soul into it. You put all of your effort into it. It was fantastic. You did such a great job, and you presented it and people said thank you and it made them money and it was great. But then 2-3 years into your career, that is still your favorite, even though that one didn't make as much money or do as much good for the company as the projects you're working on now that are bringing in millions of dollars because you're really cool and I know you can do that. It may not mean to others what it means to you. That first one might be really special because you poured your heart and soul into it. This one you're doing currently may not have your heart and soul the way that your first one did, but it does better for the group as a whole. So just remember, there are different perspectives. Different things are different meanings to different people. And so you get to make your book special the way that you want to, but you also have to move forward in your career, in your job, in your life, and keep on writing the books and understand different people will place different values on different things. And so the ones that your audience loves may not be the ones that you love. I have a book that I wrote because somebody asked me to write it. It was a short novella, so it wasn't a big deal. So I wrote a specific retelling for somebody because they really wanted me to write a retelling on it. I hate it. I don't love that book. And I hate it because I don't love the original story. I am not a fan of that original fairy tale. And I did my best to fix it the best that I could, but I still don't love it because I don't love the original. But my goodness, people respond to it so well when they're reading my books. And so I have different opinions that my readers do. They like different characters than I like. Sometimes they don't like my leading characters, but they love a side character. And I cannot fathom why these people latch themselves on to this really awful character, but they do. So we're not going to have the same opinions as our readers, and that's okay. Do things for yourself, but also do things to make the money and support the readers. When it comes down to your books, there's so many different things that you have to take into consideration. So don't get yourself overly attached to one thing because it might not be the thing that everybody else gets themselves attached to. You have to have openness and love for all the things that you are creating and lean in to what's making you money because this is your job and it's important. If you want to keep being creative, you have to keep making money on it or it's simply not going to work. So you have to be able to lean in to what everybody's loving. Have space for it all. Drop your questions down below and follow along for more as I continue to help you navigate the world of publishing from your writing to your publishing to your marketing to make this your most profitable and most successful author year ever without stress and overwhelm because we want you to be able to live your best life while also being an author and doing all these things and not having it take over your life. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.